This is a turn here off Hebron onto a railroad, and where I was always telling you guys fish it, and that's it right over there, that body of water. Right there is where when I say Hebron and Railroad, that is the spot I'm talking about right there. And it's probably a little muddy down there today, but there's another spot I wanted to check out. The sun's actually supposed to be coming out and around 10, but it's 10:21, so I'm gonna give it to 11 and see because it's really muddy and murky out here today, and I really don't want to try to climb down up and down that hill carrying my stuff and then have to sit down there in mud patties. So we might wind up back home. That's one of the downsides to bank fishing. If you don't have a good spot with rocks or something solid, you're susceptible to the weather, whatever the weather is. So further on down here is Railroad Park, and you just keep going down Railroad till you get to Bennett Street, Bennett. And when you get to the light at Bennett, you need to take a right, and you'll be right in Railroad Park. That's where Bennett runs right into Railroad Park. Now that company right over there on the other side of the railroad tracks here, there's a pond or a lake that runs right alongside, and it runs almost all the way down there. It's long. That is actually where I want to try to throw a worm or something to see if something's happening, but I don't want to get ran off by security either. But we're gonna check it out right now real quick while we can, and we're on cam, so we're gonna see if we can find a spot where we can post up and look. But anyway, this is a muddy day. I have never been in here before anyway, so I don't know what. But you can see the water over in there. It's a lot of water. It runs all the way down. That's quite a bit of water. It's actually more than I thought it was. But a spot, somebody's working today, Saturday over here. Should be a spot in there, but it's probably muddy and murky. And so this is the company, and there's nowhere really to park but right out here where this little embankment is. But I thought since today was Saturday, nobody would be working, so I guess I'm gonna have to pull this one on a Sunday. Look how muddy it is right there. That's what I'm saying. Then right there is the only opening right there. Looks like somebody's even driven their vehicle right there. But if that's a drive down, it may be slippery too. But we'll come back and venture and check this out later. Maybe tomorrow or next week sometime we'll come back and check this out with some worms. But anyway, back down to our spot. We were at Railroad Park, which right here you turn left if you were going to Railroad Park yesterday, and man, nothing happened over there. Not a thing happened. So my handicap sticker's right in the way here. I don't use the drive with that on my son drive. It's actually not mine, it's my niece's. So whenever we have to take her to the doctor, that's what it's for. But we use it, of course. Um, so back down to my original spot here, and I'm gonna sit there for a minute and see if the sun starts to peek out. It's supposed the sun's supposed to peek out today. It's only 10:24, so sometime around 11:12, the sun's supposed to peek out. If the sun comes out, then things are definitely going to change, and they always do when the sun comes out. So we're going to go back down here and see what's happening. And there's a turn in down here. You'll miss it if you don't know where it's at. So when you get along down here, you have to drive kind of slow. And this is when you first pull in, it's kind of muddy, but there's grass all along that embankment. And I don't want to get too deep in there because I got all I've got here is front wheel drive. So when I go through here, you just go on through and go straight over to the grass, and it goes right on through here over to the grass. And that's our spot. As you can see, it's kind of down, sunk down there. That's what I was saying. A lot of times when the wind is high, you don't get that full impact of it. But it don't look too bad. But I'm gonna sit here for a minute, and I'm waiting to see if the actually on the other side is where I hang out. That's behind this tree. And right along here is usually where I go down. And I'm gonna sit here for a minute, and if it starts to rain or something, I'm gonna be up out of this camp. So, all right. gotten a couple of bites. The jerks, I ain't got nothing significant to where I can hook something and bring it in. I'm thinking about putting a piece of bread on one of my lines. So far, I'm only fishing with worms, all worms. That's what I said I was going to do today. See if I can catch me some catfish out of here. But so far, but while I got the camera on, let me show you how I do this bread when I fish with it over here. I take, I don't know if you can see this. Sure you can. I take a sheet of bread, break it in half, and I break it in half again. And so I get 4 pieces out of it, because I take the white out of it. Oh, I mean do that. And roll it or knead it together in my hands like this, mashing it back and forth till it gets like to a doughy consistency again, and I put it on the hook. So that's probably what I'm going to wind up doing on one of my lines. Have some kind of activity, man. Catch either a carp or a buffalo. So far, the worms don't seem to be real popular down here for some reason. I don't know why. I used to come down here in the summer, all those bait fish and the small little brims and bluegills and stuff. There was a lot of small ones in here. I mean, you throw your line out there and they just carnivore it like piranha. And you could catch one or snag one of them every now and then, but they was too little to eat. And too little to fish with, matter of fact. They were little. So I think what I'm going to do, this line here, I'm going to pull it in and put some bread on it. And I'm going to leave those 2 with worms on them. God knows I wouldn't come out and come down here today to catch carp or buffalo. But looks like what I might wind up doing. So that was a definite skunk today. Man, but it did get warm out here today. That temperature, they were talking about 62. It's got to be hotter than that. But anyway, alrighty. Tomorrow we'll do something different. I kept trying to use those worms today, man. Try to prove them worms over here, but for some reason, worms ain't real popular here. So anyway, back to the drawing board. We did get skunked today, so which is unusual for this spot, because this is one of my favorite spots. But nevertheless, we weren't fishing for carp and buffalo today anyway. So that'd be a wrap.